بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Alhamdulillah, welcome back to another lesson of the Rusul Lughat al-Arabiya. We have started lesson 10, Ad-Dars al-Ashir, and we got to the bottom of the page. Because the last question is connected to the next page, we will just reiterate and go over the last question again. So we have here, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Hamid. Now, Hamid, he's posed a question and he is saying, Ma lughatuka ya Muhammad? Ma lughatuka ya Muhammad? What is your language, O Muhammad? Okay. So now in response to that, okay, so we had, sorry, Hamid says, Ma lughatuka ya Muhammad? What is your language, O Muhammad? In response to that, in response to Hamid's question, Muhammad says, Lughati al-Urdiyatu. My language is Urdu. My language is Urdu. So let's get the translation down, inshallah. So, my language is Urdu. Okay. So we have the translation there. Now moving on to the vowel markings, we have Lughati, my language. Okay, and al-urdiyatu. Any reason? Can you give the reason why we're saying al-urdiyatu? Why are we reading the word al-urdiyatu with a dhamma? What's the reason for it? Any idea? What's the reason for reading al-urdiyatu marfu with dhamma? Lughati is feminine and urdiyatu is khabar, so must follow. Very good. Okay. So لغتي مضاف إليه will be مبتدأ and الأردية will be the خبر and خبر is مرفوع and that be signified by the dhamma. Is the tarkib pretty straightforward? We don't need to annotate the tarkib because these sentences are pretty straightforward. So I will just mention them orally, verbally, instead of annotating them. Wherever easy, okay, we'll just read through them. So لغتي مضاف إليه is مبتدأ, الأردية is the خبر. Next sentence we have is أهي لغة سهلة. Okay, so what does that sentence mean? أهي لغة سهلة. Is it an easy language? Okay, so is it an easy language? So that's the translation. Hamza is harful istifham. It means is. Here means it, referring back to my language. Lughatun means language and sahlatun means easy. Easy, sorry. Now in terms of the vowel markings, why are we reading lughatun? What's the reason for us to read it with a dhamma? Because here is a pronoun, so that's not going to change. Why are we reading lughatun? What's the reason for it? Any idea? You can just put one word in because we're looking for the one word answer. Okay. So ahiya lughatun, you're saying it's mubtada'un. Okay. So if you say lughatun is mubtada'un, what's here then? And isn't mubtada'un generally ma'rifah, specific? So is lughatun mubtada'un? Okay, because you unsure of this one, inshallah we'll annotate the tarkib of this one quickly, inshallah. Let's load up the Arabic font. So the Hamza equals حرف الاستفهام. Because it's a harf, it can't take the role of مبتدأ. Because some articles that are used for questioning, they can be ism, like ما هذا. Then it can take the role of مبتدأ. But Hamza is حرف الاستفهام. So we can't really decide if it's جملة اسمية جملة فعلية at this current moment. Okay. Then we have here. Here it's a pronoun, so that means it's a noun. So here takes the role of مبتدأ. That leaves us with two words, لغة. Before we make it the khabar, we're saying easy language. What kind of phrase does that sound like when you say easy language? Easy language. What kind of phrase does it sound like? Yes, man'ut and nat. So لغة equals man'ut. And that leaves us with sahlatun, which equals the nat. Now, the man'ut plus nat equals khabar. And then from there, it's pretty straightforward. So when you say man'ut, we're talking about the word lughatun, and when we say na'at, we're referring to sahlatun. So the man'ut na'at pairs together to form the khabar, and then here was the mubtada'un, and then the mubtada plus khabar equals jumlatun ismiyatun. Is it khabriyatun or insha'iyatun? What do you think? Khabriyatun. Okay, but you asked a question though. Hamid's asking a question. Ahiya lughatun sahlatun. Is it an easy language? Ahiya lughatun sahlatun. Insha'iyya, very good. Okay, let's move on. Muhammad's now posing another question. He says, Na'am, hiya lughatun sahlatun. Okay, so Muhammad is agreeing with Hamid and he's saying, yes, actually, Urdu is an easygoing language. So, yes, it is an easy language. Okay, yes, it is an easy language. So that is the translation. In terms of vowel markings, so what are we going to say? Okay, we didn't actually finish the previous one off, did we? But because we're doing the tarkib, that kind of gives us an idea why we're reading lughatun with a dhamma, because it's khabar. And sahlatun we read with a dhamma because the na'at follows man'ut in i'rab. Same thing here as well. Na'am hiya lughatun sahlatun. We'll come to that, but before we go to that, what is na'am? Any idea what na'am is in terms of labeling it grammatically? What's the word na'am? Ismul ijab? No. Okay, na'am is harful ijab. Okay, so we need to get used to knowing the nature of the words, if it's noun or if it's a part considered to be a particle, because sometimes that plays a pivotal role in deciding if it can be mubtada or not. But here is just pretty straightforward. Na'am is harful ijab. So it's a particle used to respond. So we leave it to that. Na'am. Okay. Here lughatun sahlatun. Okay, so what would here be in tarkib? Here. So if you can tell me, we won't need to annotate it. But if I see that you're struggling, then I would put it up there. Okay. So mashallah, very good. Here is mubtada'un. What's lughatun? Khabar. But before we make the khabar, we got sahlatun as well. So lughatun sahlatun. Okay, so we're gonna read that with man'ut and nat. Very good. Okay. So we're gonna read that with a what? Dhammatain. So lughatun and then same thing, سهلة ضمتين. Okay, so نعم هي لغة سهلة. Yes, it's an easy language. Okay, so that's the translation. We know why we're reading the vowels the way we have read them, and that is because obviously لغة is khabar, so it's going to be with a dhamma, and سهلة is the na'at following the i'rab of the khabar, so it's going to have the same vowel markings in this situation. Now moving on, Hamid, وحمزة ما لغته. And Hamza, what is his language? Okay, so this one, let's see if you can figure this one out. What's happening here? Well, let's get the translation. And Hamza, what is his language? And Hamza, what is his language? Okay, I hope I've spelled all that right. Okay, we're not going to fit that all together. So we might have to just go over Hamza's name. Sorry, Hamid's name. Okay, so and Hamza, what is his language? Now here, what's this wow here? The wow. We're saying and. Atf. Okay, harfu atf. Either you say harfu atf, you can't say atf on its own because the wow is either atifatun or harful atf. Okay, so you got to be careful when we say these words. We the when we join one word to another and it shares the same i'rab, then that action is known as atf. So this word is doing atf upon this word. But when we just say the particle that joins both words together, we will either say atifatun. In other words, it's brought as feminine. In other words, we are saying kalimatun atifatun. It's a conjunctive word. Okay? Or we say harfu atfil, harful atfi, harful atf, particle of conjoining. Is that clear? So we won't be able to say atf on his own. Okay? Next word we have is hamza. Okay? What vowel marking is hamza going to have? What are we going to give hamza? The ta. Is it going to be tu? Hamza tu. Okay? Why are we not saying dhammatain? Why are we not saying wa hamzatun? Why are we saying wa hamzatu? Okay? غير منصرف. Very good. Okay? غير منصرف are words which are not fully declinable. Okay? They're partially declinable. And that's when you find two causes from a 9. If they are found, or one cause which is equal to 2, then that word won't have tanween. And in the state of jar, it'll have fatha as well. So hamzatu was the two causes. One is ta'nith, it's alamatu ta'nith, the ta'un marbutatun, and the second cause is alam, it's a proper noun. So that causes it to be غير munsarif, partially declinable. So we're going to say hamzatu because it's okay. We've mentioned why we're saying one dhamma, but why are we reading dhamma in the first place? Why are we reading dhamma? Remember the possibilities we're looking at for a word to be in the state of raf. We've covered before. We're looking at a few options. We're not going through the whole, exhaustive list of marfu'at, but I did mention mubtada, khabar, and fa'il. That's the 3 areas we're looking at the moment. Okay. So you say mubtada'un. Very good. Noun at the beginning of sentence. There's absolutely no reason why it can't take the role of mubtada. So hamzatu is mubtada'un. That's what we're going to read hamzatu. Okay. Where's the khabar? Where is the khabar? And Hamza, what is his language? Okay. Where's the khabar? Exactly which ma lughatuhu. Very good. Okay. The whole sentence is actually the going to form to become the khabar. Okay. Like it's a bit like in the Quran. Al-qari'atu mal-qari'ah. Okay, which will come to. I'll give you tell you how it's working out. Basically, the khabar has come in the form of jumlatun ismiyatun. And that jumla ismiyatun is ma lughatuhu, and that will form to be the khabar of Hamza. Okay, so I think this one, if we just have it on the screen annotated, probably will be best. So we can actually, let's just choose a blue color. So there's a bit of a contrast, so you don't get mixed up with the first tarkib. So we have the first word, Hamza. So Hamza equals mubtada'un. That leaves us with ma, which equals. Now here, you could just say mubtada'un thanin. That's how some Arab kitabs phrase it. It's a second mubtada. Why do you say second mubtada? Because the first mubtada we've dealt with. The second one is actually a mubtada of the jumla ismiya, which forms to be the khabar. So when you're doing tarkib, you can rephrase it as mubtada'un thanin. So you draw a distinction between the two mubtadas. Okay? So we've got mubtada'un thanin. That leaves us with lughatuhu. Okay? Lughatuhu, we know is mudaf ilayh, his language. Okay? So let's just straightforward call that khabar. Okay? Now, mubtada'un thanin plus khabar. When we're saying khabar, we're talking about lughatuhu. So I just put that in brackets. Lughatuhu. And let's just go back to mubtada thani. So we're kind of like understanding more what we're referring to when we say mubtada thani. What does the second mubtada and the khabar form to become? It becomes khabarul mubtada il awwal. And in brackets, we will write Hamza. Hamza. Okay? So that's how we would do tarkib of وحمزة ما لغته. So Hamza is mubtada, ma is mubtada thanin, لغته, obviously we know is mudaf ilayh, that is khabar. Now mubtada thani, ma plus khabar, which is لغته, forms to be the khabar of the first mubtada, which is Hamza. And then from there we can just make it jumla ismiya, insha'iyya, because it ends with a question, isn't it? Okay. So in the Quran you get al-qari'atu mal-qari'ah. So al-qari'ah will be mubtada, ma will be mubtada thanin, al-qari'atu will be the khabar. Mubtada thani with the khabar will become a jumla fi mahalli raf. That's another thing, okay? So ma lughatuhu, when we say it becomes khabar al-mubtada al-awwal, okay, you can say there as well, fi mahalli raf. Meaning the sentence ma lughatuhu fi mahalli raf. So let's put down al-jumlatu. That'll make it a bit more clear. So it becomes a jumla في محل رفع خبر المبتدا الأول. Is that clear? Is that understood? Are there any questions, or it's pretty straightforward? Clear? Alhamdulillah. Now we have our next sentence. لغته اليابانية وهي لغة صعبة. Okay. And then we have اللغة اليابانية. Okay, so we'll come across that, okay? So what does لغته اليابانية mean? So لغته اليابانية. What does that mean? Okay, so still got it on the Arabic dictionary. His language is Japanese. Okay, his language is Japanese. Let's put capital J. Okay, and it is a difficult language. وهي لغة صعبة. Okay, so that's the translation for that one. Okay, his language is Japanese and it is a difficult language. Okay, تركيب of this is pretty straightforward. لغته مضاف إليه will become مبتدأ. اليابانية is خبر. And then you got واو حرف عطف, or you could say عاطفة. هي is مبتدأ. لغة is منعوت. صعبة is the نعت. So that's why we are reading both of them مرفوع with the dhamma, because لغة is خبر and صعبة is the نعت after خبر. And then the منعوت نعت لغة صعبة, that will pair together to become the خبر of here. Here مبتدأ plus the خبر لغة صعبة, that will form together. So here is, let's just get the laser on there. Here is مبتدأ لغة صعبة will form together to become the خبر. And the مبتدأ خبر will become a sentence and be doing عطف on the previous sentence. So لغته اليابانية will be معطوف, that sentence, and هي لغة صعبة will be, sorry, لغته اليابانية will be معطوف عليه, and هي لغة صعبة will be معطوف. Is that pretty straightforward? Do you understand that one? Is understood? Clear. And this second one is just, I'm assuming, they've just given a sample of the Japanese language. Okay, so you can see that writing in Japanese. Okay, so probably I can task you with some homework and figure out what does this say in Chinese, Japanese. It could mean it could say Japanese language. I'm not sure. Okay, so you can teach me inshallah Japanese one day. Okay, so let's move on to our next one. Hamid says, أين أبوك يا محمد? أين أبوك يا محمد? So أين أبوك يا محمد? That means, so let's just put O Muhammad. Okay, where is your father? أين أبوك يا محمد? Where is your father? Okay, so let's just get this. Yeah, probably just fit it there. Okay. So the problem is we can't really decrease the font, so it's a standard font on Zoom, so we just have to, the writing stays the same size. Okay. Otherwise, we could have fit more translation in. Okay. So أين أبوك يا محمد? Oh Muhammad, where is your father? So أين أبوك يا محمد? In terms of tarkib, what's أين in terms of tarkib? We've done these sentences before, but let's see if you still remember. خبر مقدم, very good. Okay, because we can't take أين to be مبتدأ because it's ظرف. And a word which is ظرف don't take the role of مبتدأ. Okay, and that leaves us with مضاف مضاف إليه. أبوك, what's that going to form to become? أبوك. What's أبوك going to? مبتدأ مؤخر, very good. Okay. What is the sign of the Arab in Abuka that's showing and demonstrating that it's in the state of Raf? The wow. Very good. Okay. Ya Muhammad, Ya is harf nida, Muhammad do, not done. Okay, because munada has its own set of rules, and we know that if it's mufrad ma'rifa, generally, well, mufrad ma'rifa, it would be mabniyun ala dham. So Muhammad is a singular word, it's not compounded with another word up through idafa. Otherwise, it would have been mansoob, like Ya Rasulullah, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ya Tali'an Jabalan, Ya Qari al-Quran, Ya Katib al-Dars, whichever way you want to look at it. So it's going to be Muhammadu. So where's your father, oh Muhammad? Abi fil Kuwait. My father is in Kuwait. So my father is in Kuwait. هو طبيب شهير. He is a famous doctor. Okay, so my father is in Kuwait. أبي في الكويت. هو طبيب شهير. He is a famous doctor. So that's the translation for that sentence. Okay. تركيب wise, أبي مضاف مضاف إليه will group together to become what? أبي في الكويت. My father. مبتدأ. Very good. And في الكويت, the prepositional phrase, what does that become connected to? And what does it eventually become in terms of تركيب? كائن. Good. Okay, and كائن في الكويت will form to be the خبر. Then we have هو طبيب شهير. He is a renowned, okay, doctor or famous doctor. What would هو be here? هو طبيب شهير. He is a famous doctor. تركيب wise, what's هو in terms of تركيب? It's pretty straightforward. You don't need to badal. No, I wouldn't go into badal. You're making a sentence here. He is a famous doctor. هو طبيب شهير. So if a sentence starts with هو, what is it? It's a pronoun مبتدأ, and that leaves طبيب as to be منعوت, شهير to be the نعت. So you got شهير بمعنى مشهور. Pattern of words that come under the pattern of فعيل, they can come in the meaning of مفعول and also فاعل. Like قتيل can be قاتل and مقتول. But here شهير is in the meaning of مشهور. Okay? So هو طبيب شهير. Shahirun will hold more weight than mashhurun, because mashhurun is just ismul maf'ul, whereas shahir is like more, denotes more kind of per, a permanent quality, attribute and quality. Sifatun mushabbaha. Okay, so shahir will be like, quite well known, really famous. Okay, if you use the harf jar kaf for examples, would the muta'alliq be hidden? Would the muta'alliq be misl if hidden? If we use the harf jar kaf for examples, would the muta'alliq be misl if hidden? Uh, and I think, for example, um, I think what you're trying to say is when you use the kaf to cite an example, then you would probably just assume something to be hidden. Okay, so like ushabbihu, I'm giving resemblance or I'm striking a parable of something with like this. Do you understand? So then you'll have to like assume a verb to be hidden. Okay? Generally, when people cite examples, they use the word nahwu. Okay, nah. Okay, there's you can say nahwu, you can say nahwu as well. Um, there's different reasons for it. Okay, متعلق to مثل. Yeah, but then obviously you'd have to مثل is not مثل just means an example, sample, do you understand? So you won't be able to make it متعلق to that word itself. You'll have to assume a verb or something like that to be hidden. Okay, is understood? If that's what you're trying to say. Okay. وأين أمك? And where is وأين أمك? And where is your mother? Okay, so and where is your mother? وأين أمك? So here the waw is حرف العطف or عاطفة. أين will be means where, and أمك your mother. Means mother, kaf means yours, the cat. تركيب wise, waw is حرف العطف, أين is خبر مقدم, and أمك مضاف إليه becomes مبتدأ مؤخر. Next sentence, that was pretty straightforward. هي أيضا في الكويت مع أبي. هي مدرسة هناك. By the way, the sentence at the above, أبي في الكويت هو طبيب شهير. أبي في الكويت is one sentence, but you're not doing عطف, so what does that become? What does that make هو طبيب شهير? You will probably say it's جملة استئنافية. It's just another sentence. Okay? This is a good example to draw a distinction between جملة ابتدائية لا محل لها من الإعراب and جملة استئنافية لا محل لها من الإعراب. We covered this in our إعراب course, that certain sentences don't experience a what state. And from those sentences was جملة ابتدائية. And جملة ابتدائية is a sentence that starts, there's nothing before it, it's just a new, right from the beginning, it's a new sentence. There's nothing mentioned before that. And that's in the case Abi fil Kuwait. And isti'nafiyatun means in the middle of, you know, sentences, etc. It's just a new sentence you're starting. So there is something mentioned before, but now you just mentioned something else. Okay? So that would be jumlatun isti'nafiyatun. Okay, isti'nafiyatun. So Abi fil Kuwait, we can say that is jumlatun ibtida'iyatun. It's the commencing sentence. And huwa tabibun shahirun, we could say that's jumlatun isti'nafiyatun, the sentence anew. Okay, a new sentence. So that means you've got something mentioned before, but you're mentioning a new sentence. Is that clear? So we can link our Arab course to today's lesson as well. Okay, is that clear? Is understood? Bringing into the equation jumlatun ibtida'iyatun and isti'nafiyatun and the difference between the two. Have you understood that, or you're not sure, or you want me to repeat it again? Okay. Have you gone AFK? You just where you gone? Where have oh you rejoined as a guest. It couldn't be that much of a hard question that you've left the lesson, but you've come back, mashallah. So you've joined as a guest, mashallah. I have to treat you like a guest for 3 days. Come on. Okay, the question was, did you understand the difference between jumlatun ibtida'iyatun and jumlatun isti'nafiyatun? Or you didn't hear it at all? If not, you can say you didn't hear anything. I will repeat it again. So where are you at? G? Can you hear me, or you can't hear me, or you're having technical issues? What's going on? Okay, I think oh, you've left again. Okay, I think you're probably having network issues. It's not a problem. Just catch up with the recordings, inshallah, and the other students as well. So let's carry on. Abi fil Kuwait, we said that's jumlatun ibtidaiyatun. So let's just get it down here. So it kind of stands out and know it appears a bit more clear what we're talking about. So let's just do that color there. So Abi fil Kuwait equals jumlatun ibtidaiyatun. Okay, and the sentence هو طبيب شهير, that equals جملة استئنافية. And both these sentences, even in the I'rab course we covered as well, that they are لا محل لها من الإعراب. Okay, so let's just get that there as well. Something wrong there. Let's just leave it to that. So جملة ابتدائية لا محل لها من الإعراب. Why do we say sentences can experience i'rab? Because look at the sentence above. We made ma lughatuhu a hamzatu ma lughatuhu. We made that sentence fi mahalli raf. Why? Because it forms to be the khabar. So sentences on a sentence level, sentences can experience i'rab. It's not just on an individual word basis. Sentences as a whole, either they experience an i'rab or they don't experience an i'rab. Definitely they want to express it because obviously it's the sentence as a whole. Okay, so أبي في الكويت جملة ابتدائية لا محل لها من الإعراب. هو طبيب شهير جملة استئنافية لا محل لها من الإعراب. And the difference between جملة ابتدائية is a sentence that comes at the beginning, there's nothing mentioned before, that'll be جملة ابتدائية. And if we have got something mentioned before and then all of a sudden we start a new sentence, that will be known as جملة استئنافية. So that's the difference between جملة استئنافية and جملة ابتدائية. Whichever the case, both of these sentences won't experience an i'rab. Okay, let's move on. هي أيضا في الكويت مع أبي. Let's move on to our translation, inshallah. So, what does that mean? هي أيضا في الكويت مع أبي. She, okay, she also is in Kuwait with my father. She also is in Kuwait with my father. هي مدرسة هناك. Don't get mistaken with madrasatun. It's clearly there's a mim with a dhamma, and even if there was no vowel markings, it won't make sense saying here madrasatun huna. She is a madrasa there. Okay? Unless there's some real serious figurative speech going on, allegorical or figurative metaphorical speech, which I doubt it. Okay, she also is in Kuwait with my father. She is a teacher there. Okay, I hope I'm getting my spelling right. Typing is an art. So she also is in Kuwait with my father. She is a teacher there. Okay, so that's the translation of هي أيضا في الكويت مع أبي. Okay. هي مدرسة هناك. She is a teacher there. Are you okay with the tarkib of the sentence, or you may need a bit of help with the tarkib? You okay? Or should we go over the tarkib of the sentence? What are you saying? What do you think? What's your mood? Okay, a bit of help on this. That's fine. At least you are being honest. I think I might need some help as well at this rate. Okay, no, still on. Okay, so here we will say, remember Alon, when we use the word Alon, we said it's al. And I explained that in one of the lessons in great detail. There's two possibilities. One is maf'ul mutlaq or one is hal, and I broke it down, etc. on the verb level. But here we'll just say it's hal. So here is dhul hal, dhu al hal. That leaves us with aydan. Aydan equals hal. Now, both of these, so the dhul hal plus the hal equals mubtada'un. So we've got the mubtada now. She also, so that's the mubtada done, is in Kuwait with my father. So fil Kuwait, we know it's jar majroor. So we'll just say fil Kuwait equals muta'alliqan connected to that which is hidden. And what are we going to assume to be hidden? Come on. What's going to be hidden? If fil Kuwait, we're going to connect that prepositional phrase. What are we going to connect it to? What's going to be assumed to be hidden? Ka'inun, are you sure? Because we said here. Are you sure it's ka'inun? We said here. Ka'inatun. Good. Okay, so always remember there has to be mutabaqah between the mubtada and khabar. Okay, so ka'inatun, which will form to be the khabar. And then we also have ma'a, which equals mudaf, and my father. So you've actually got two words there, but I'm just going to say them together. Ab is mudaf, ilay, and also mudaf towards the ya. And then abi together, we just say together equals mudaf ilay. Yeah, so ma is mudaf, abi, there's actually two words in abi. Ab, which is mudaf, ilay, and also mudaf, and the ya is mudaf ilay. And then together we can say it's mudaf ilay and ma. So these two, the mudaf and mudaf ilay, so mudaf plus mudaf ilay, mudaf. So the mudaf plus the mudaf ilay will equal to be ظرف مكان. And متعلق is going to be connected to, because ظروف are also connected. What's it going to be connected to? What's the متعلق? What's it going to be connected to? What do you think? مع أبي. Okay, it's going to be connected to كائنة. So in other words, there's two things connected with كائنة. Okay, one is في الكويت and the second one being مع أبي. Okay, so here is ذو الحال. أيضا is the حال, and ذو الحال and حال will become مبتدأ. في الكويت متعلقان بمحذوف كائنة will become the خبر. مع is مضاف. أبي, there's two words there, but we'll make it as the phrase together مضاف إليه. Then the مضاف مضاف إليه مع be will become ظرف the مكان connected to كائنة, which obviously is the خبر. And then from there you can make it مبتدا plus خبر equals جملة اسمية خبرية. Is that clear? Is that one clear? Clear. Okay. هي مدرسة هناك. She is a teacher there. Okay. She is a teacher there. This one here is مبتدأ. مدرسة is the خبر. هناك. Okay. هنا is the ظرف and the كاف is for خطاب. Okay. And that will become connected to, probably we would say, مدرسة as well, because مدرسة has got the letters of a verb دال را and سين, so we can connect هناك to مدرسة. So مدرسة اسم الفاعل with is ظرف هناك will form to be the خبر, and then the مبتدا خبر become جملة اسمية خبرية. Is that understood? Is that clear? Any questions so far? There is a bit of تركيب today going on. Clear. Okay. ذهبت إلى الكويت يا محمد. Okay, so let's come back to our English language. ذهبت إلى الكويت. What does that mean? ذهبت إلى الكويت. ذهبت إلى الكويت. Yes. Have you been to Kuwait? So have you been to Kuwait, O Muhammad? Remember, حرف النداء and munada, they don't become integral parts of the sentence. They're just kind of like considered separate. Okay, so whenever you say Ya Muhammad or the word Ya is used, they will be kind of like they won't have a mahal of the i'rab group into when you group it together, Ya Muhammad. Okay, so they don't become a part of a bigger sentence or anything like that. Okay, so you just keep that in that sentence, you'll deal with in isolation. Okay, O Muhammad. Let's just keep, we know it says Ya Muhammad, O Muhammad. In terms of tarkib, is everything okay in this one? So Hamza is harf al-istifham. ذهبت, this is a verb now. Okay, so let's just do this one because it contains a verb, so we will just cover this one separate. Okay, let's go back to our green color. So Hamza equals harf al-istifham. You can't take the role of mubtada'un. That will leave us with ذهبت, which equals فعل plus fa'il. And then إلى الكويت, إلى الكويت, we know it's jar and majroor. This becomes متعلقان. This becomes connected. What does it become connected to? إلى الكويت. Have you gone to Kuwait? Kuwait. Have you been to Kuwait, O Muhammad? ذهبت. Okay. The verb ذهبت. Okay. And then all of this equals here. So we can just say فعل plus فاعل plus متعلق equals جملة فعلية. Is it خبرية or إنشائية? Which one? Is it فعلية or خبرية? خبرية. ذهبت إلى الكويت يا محمد. So you said فعلية, but we still got. So you said خبرية. Are you informing? Or are you asking a question? So how can it be خبرية? We know, calm down, you put fi'liyatun twice. I get that message, but khabariyatun, are you sure about that one? How's about that one? G. Is it insha'iyatun? Yes, because this one of the sentences are jumal insha'iyah. Sentences which are considered to be non-declarative or non-informative. Okay? And then ya is حرف نداء قائم مقام أدعو and Muhammad is the munada في محل نصب because ya represents أدعو and مبني على الضم. Okay, so is that one clear? Okay, نعم ذهبت. Yes, I have been. I went. Okay, so نعم ذهبت. Okay, so let's leave this space for the easy sentences. Sorry, the other sentences that we're most likely to encounter soon. So we leave that space empty because these sentences are pretty straightforward. So na'am means yes, ذهبت means I have been, I went. Hamid now says وَزَمِيلُكَ أَيْنَ أَبُوهُ? And your friend, where is his father? And your friend, Zamil means your colleague, your pal, your friend, your cousin. وَزَمِيلُكَ and your friend أَيْنَ أَبُوهُ? Where is his father? تركيب wise, واو is حرف العطف, زميل is مضاف, the kaf is مضاف إليه. Now what does the مضاف مضاف إليه become in زميلك? مبتدأ. Where's the خبر? Where is the خبر? Where is the خبر? So if زميلك is مبتدأ, where is the خبر? صح. أين أبوه? Very good. Okay, so remember ما لغته, we made مبتدأ ثاني here. So same thing here, زميل will be مضاف, كاف will be مضاف إليه, مضاف مضاف إليه becomes مبتدأ. أين is the خبر مقدم. Now you might think خبر مقدم is come after. No, it's the خبر مقدم of the جملة اسمية which forms to be the خبر of زميلك. Has that sunk in? Did that sink in what I just said? Okay, let me say again. زميلك is مضاف مضاف إليه بالمبتدأ. The خبر has come in the form of a جملة اسمية, so أين أبوه. So we have to treat this as a separate sentence before we form it, and it becomes a خبر of زميلك. So أين أبوه, if we treat that as a separate sentence for the time being, أين will be خبر مقدم, أبوه مضاف مضاف إليه will become مبتدأ ثاني. مبتدأ ثانٍ. The second مبتدأ, because we've already had one before, will be مؤخر because it's been delayed in this sentence أين أبوه. Then the خبر مقدم أين and the مبتدأ مؤخر أبوه, that will group together and become a sentence. So جملة اسمية إنشائية أين أبوه. جملة اسمية إنشائية في محل رفع. It will be in the position of what? رفع. Why? Because it will be خبر of مبتدأ أول, which was زميلك. And then the مبتدأ أول زميلك with its خبر which came in the form of جملة اسمية إنشائية will group together to become جملة اسمية إنشائية. Is that understood? Clear. Okay. Inshallah, we've got a few more sentences left of this page and also the next page. There's a few more sentences that carry on. with lesson 10, and then we have some questions. So what we'll do is we'll leave it here, inshallah. We'll continue from Abuhu fil Yaban. If need be, we will mention Wazamiluka Aina Abuhu again. And if there are any further questions, please do ask in the Telegram support group. Keep that live and active. The more questions you ask on there, the more busy it'll keep me, and the more, you know, benefit we can derive from each other, inshallah. Okay? For now, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.